Mr. Shamuel Ali, Director Corporate, SAP Pakistan, Iraq, and Bahrain, to talk about how technology and data are shaping the future of consumer experiences. Please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I think this is the second last session, if I'm not wrong, right? There's one more after me. Oh, two more. Wow. So, मैं सुबह late आया, a bit late, but I connected online, and I was listening. जब मैं अपना बाकी काम कर रहा था, and the speakers was coming through. I had different plans. एक slide deck भी बनाया हुआ था मैंने. I think वो भी हम लगा दे भी देते. वो साथ साथ चलाते रहेंगे. But I think over the period of last 6 hours, I think we have covered the whole journey. हमने एक पूरी journey cover कर ली है from every possible way possible for Pakistan's retail segmentation. चाहे वो cashless की बात करें, चाहे वो हम malls की बात करें, चाहे retail spaces की बात करें, technology की बात हुई, Visa ने बात की आके. I mean, it's amazing. We have covered, mashallah, from the morning till now. And I said that I'm not going to go through my slide. We already passed that the thing. What things which we see as a retail segmentation perspective and retail as an industry, it's obvious. People have already talked about it since morning. Just to put into perspective, one word, it's now too complex. I'm not going to go into details how it is. It's there. This is not coming from the local data set. It's coming from even the global and our regional setups, which puts that the complexity at retail have increased 10 times even in the last 5 years, right? The challenge, very simply, is the customer is more informed, more demanding, and less loyal. Simple. We have competition from everywhere. When I said we, it means the retailers who are competing in this particular space. They have competition from everywhere. And that competition is not only to get the space of the customer in the mind and get it and get the sales done, but of course the margin pressures. And this was all compounded when we talked about taxation in the morning, with the woes in the terms of payments and all that. But these challenges are Pakistan specific, but what I'm showing right now is coming from the region. It's everywhere. The retailers have decided 3 separate categories that these are their highest top priorities moving on, which is to get a seamless and personalized engagement for our customers, be engaging, short version. Make sure the supply chain capabilities which the companies and the retailers have are robust enough to manage it, and of course, the profitability. These are the 3 big segmentation which the retailers globally are highly prioritizing, because without that, the business would not work. Now, this all brings to a setup where businesses are already set up. Whatever they're selling, either it's a fashion retail, it's a grocery retail shop, it's a furniture store, it's anything related to retail. Basic problems comes down to the hurdles which they are seeing right now. And the greatest one are, number one, is the fragmented processes. No organization, of course, can run without processes being implemented, right? Across the whole supply chain. These are generally seems fragmented, which means the data they are creating, which is the backbone of the AI and everything which we talked about in the last sessions as well, is there. It's in a huge quantity, but it's not harmonized. And the adoption hurdles in terms of technologies are still there. Now, I would not go into too much details of things, but to talk about, and stop here and talk a bit about how the change happened for us. And when I say by us, meaning SAP. Maybe 6 years ago, just before COVID, we were told globally that we are moving toward a cloud setup, maybe back in 2017, 18. And I'm serving this market for now 18 years, with SAP for 10, before that at a partner for more than 8 years. And it was like a shock for us. We've built an ecosystem around an on-premise solution set where the customer have invested in a hardware with the data centers, with security apparatus around it, and a software, and they're running it. And the Germans, the global guys, the IT group are saying, move to cloud. And a country like Pakistan, we are talking about how is that going to happen? Now in 2025, 7 years down the line, we have more than 65 to 70 corporate enterprise, big, large customers of Pakistan origins already move end-to-end to cloud. When we see sitting there in 2017, we cannot see in hindsight what's happening. Now, I can appreciate if that change would not have happened at SAP's global level back in 17, 18, we would not be able to consume the data which is being created to make the agentic AI work for our customers. So think about it. Every customer have their own data set, their own systems sitting in somewhere in their own premises, creating data, and now they want to do AI. It's there. The data is there. Management saying, I want AI use cases. IT is running around trying to find small AI use cases, which of course are there as a patch, but not holistically. Our last speaker said it would be beautiful to have one single platform. Companies like SAP and companies globally, our retail customers are doing that for the last many, many years. In short, how we see a robust system which will enable the customer's growth and match it going forward will be related to three areas. The applications at the bottom, then comes the data, which sits in the middle, which creates that, and AI sits on top of it. When we say application, what we see is one single platform which provides each and every area related to each and everything related to retail, starting from planning, customer engagement, doing the actual production if the customer is also manufacturing, making sure the transportation also happens, making sure the planning happens around it, and covers with all the corporate functions and moving onwards. All these data needs to be streamlined together so the data, all the processes and the data which they provide are meaningful. When the data comes, it is an opportunity because in the last, I would say, 3 years, more than the 50% data which was created for the last 15 years was done in last 3 years. That's how McKinsey and all the global companies see the data being populated. Which means it is a challenge to harness the data and use it internally. The data for retailers can be in the form of many things which relate from merchandising, supply chain, customer experience, omni-channel and services. It is there, it's already documented, and we know what the data is all about. When we come to the final segment of AI, I will leave you with two things. There is a report which we did as one of our companies called SAP Immerses globally in these countries where we surveyed 10,000 journal consumers and more than 1,200 senior decision makers about global AI in retail, and which comes up with these takeaways. First of all, you can see from the respondents that it has been made through online channels and the things have increased to 54%. The AI is working, people are using it, 72% of our marketers agree that it's helping them. And the investment from the company is also growing internally. However, customers are a bit more, I would put it, afraid or a little more cautious about how their data is being used and consumed by the AIs. This is what the survey says globally in these countries about adoption of AI. However, things like using self-service checkouts, using a chatbot as a customer support, speaking with an AI agent, you can see from the pink side that consumers who rated the experience as positive. So they have not experienced it themselves, but they want that if a self-service checkouts are available, they prefer it over a person doing checkout for themselves, and so on and so forth. This means the usage of AI is predominantly increasing throughout, and adoption is moving on. What I'm going to leave you with, because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of topics have been covered in so many ways, to leave you with a thought that whatever decision as management, as the executives we do is not for today, is for the future. So whatever we are reaping is something which we already happened in the past. We should know, as Pakistan, usually we follow the global trends, maybe 4 to 5 years, with a 4 or 5 year lag. And we see that in the AI adoption as well. As we see this adoption have now completely changed the way we are interacting globally, I personally and very strongly believe this is going to happen in the next 5 to 6 years, as the new Gen Z kind of workforce will be there. The shoppers will be of a different category, and their way of thinking, their way of behavior will be marred by AI use cases. That's why the main takeaway from my talk today and the whole session is, please rely on this, make a plan around it, do a real research what suits you. There are companies around who are providing these services, they are providing these experiences for your organization, but AI is here to stay, and it's going to be increasing more and more and more. So this is my only giveaway at this very small talk. And hopefully we'll be able to expand Pakistan's retail to a matter where it's more profitable for the retailers and a great experience for the customers. Thank you very much.